Let's talk about with our political panel. Legal and political strategist Katie Zacharia on the right, and on the left, Brian Tyler Cohen, host of the podcast No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen. Welcome back to both of you. Thanks for being here. All right, Katie, is it racist for the President of the United States to put out an image of the former President of the United States and the former First Lady as an ape?
President Trump made it very clear. He put out a video on the Georgia fraud. And within that video was an unedited portion of a reel that went up and should have been clipped by his staffer when he said it. He said, I didn't see it. He just made this statement on Air Force One. I didn't see it. The staffer was supposed to clip it. It wasn't clipped. I took it down right away.
He didn't take it down right away. He took it down after 12 hours, and the White House doubled down on it for that entire time.
Took it down when he realized the content of it.
So so is it racist? You didn't answer the first question. Is it racist, that image itself?
The image ties into a greater AI whole video that was made on The Lion King. So
where in The Lion King was there an ape? I don't remember that character.
The entire video. We can watch it. If we want to pull up the AI video from the reel.
Yeah.
That had this whole AI video of all of the animals.
Yeah.
Period, the end. And President Trump won the Hispanic Latin vote by a historic margin, the most any other Republican has in history, the most black voters since the 1960s. He's not racist. Time and time again, he was on stage with Nicki Minaj the other day. I mean, this man is not racist. He made it very clear what happened in that statement. I stand by that, and I watched both that clip and the AI clip of the Jungle Book, or the Lion King, excuse me, with the music, and I thought, this isn't racist.
Brian?
Look, I think the reason that Donald Trump did this, that he engaged in this whole process where, to your exact point, we didn't see an apology for hours and hours and hours and hours, is because he is a small, petty, fragile man who cannot take responsibility for his own actions. And the second reason, frankly, is because he is a racist. And we have seen Donald Trump engage in racist activity in the past, numerous times. We watched as Donald Trump took out a full-page ad in the New York Times calling for the execution of 5 black kids for murdering someone who they did not murder. We saw Donald Trump start his political career by denying the citizenship of the first black president. And right now, we're watching a secret police force rove around the country so that they can round up brown and black people for the crime of being brown and black in this country. And to claim then that Donald Trump is somehow not racist is just to deny what we can all see with our own eyes.
Well, first of all, it's not a secret police group. The Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers are here to enforce the immigration laws.
Do they show their faces?
Of the United States.
Are they wearing insignia? Do they give their names? Do they have badges?
They wear masks because we have a bunch of governors and mayors that have absolutely come out and said this is the Gestapo, and they've enraged these people.
I think if they don't want to be called the Gestapo,
all right, we're not talking nice tonight. We're not talking nice tonight. But we've done that debate before. Let's talk about this particular video, though, because how do you respond to the claim that, okay, if it was racist and it was a mistake, why not just say that was wrong? We shouldn't have put that out. I'm sorry that it got put out that way, but it's offensive to clearly a lot of people in this country, and I don't want to offend anybody, and I'm taking responsibility. When he has so often criticized people, including Joe Biden, for not taking responsibility, for being the auto pen guy, and then now blaming this on some staffer.
The latter part of his statement on Air Force One, they said, would you be offended? Or he said, I didn't like it. I wouldn't like it either. I mean, this was the question. And did you apologize? Are you sorry? And he said, I'm not sorry because I didn't do anything wrong. He didn't see it, so he's not apologizing for that. And honestly, the amount of information that President Trump intakes from his staff and then goes through, he saw the Georgia fraud, they pass it off to his staffer. This is truly how it works. They clip it up and put it on his Truth Social. I believe his statement, and I don't think he had racist intent in the least.
Katie, you don't have to do this. Like, you don't have to debase yourself for Donald Trump in the way all of these Republicans debase themselves for Donald Trump. His claim that this was the fault of some staffer. What was the staffer? A 79-year-old with swollen ankles who, is weirdly attracted to his daughter? Like, we all can see
that's unfair. That's unfair.
We all can see the truth. We know there was no staffer. We know that Donald Trump has his phone.
We don't know that. We don't know that there was no staffer.
He's tweeting it all
How do we know there's no staffer?
He's tweeting it all hours of the night. We have to contort ourselves we have to do mental gymnastics. We could enter the Winter Olympics right now with the mental gymnastics that we would have to do to believe this idea that it was totally, definitely not Trump's fault, that it was just some staffer that Donald Trump is apparently curating content but sending it to this staffer who then, if you have a staffer, presumably your job would be to vet the content.
Yeah, but that is the bigger question. It certainly could have been a staffer. He's the president of the United States. There's a lot of stuff that comes at him, right? I mean, that happens.
And it's typically how his truth posts
that is
go.
fine. But then why not say that was wrong? What accountability is there for the staffer? And by the way, what's the screening process? This is the president of the United States who speaks on behalf of the United States government. And that some staffer has the ability, that would never fly here. We couldn't do that at CNN. There's a bunch of people. And if I did something like that, I would potentially get fired. There's a vetting process. Why isn't there more of a vetting process at the White House?
Look, it was a tweet or a truth at 2:40 in the morning. And have you watched both clips? Have you watched
I watched the whole
Georgia?
clip.
And
Yeah.
as you watch it, you see at that 58-second mark,
Yeah.
a reel starts popping up and then goes back down. This is exactly how it went, and it just needed to be edited on that back end. Whether or not his staffer missed that part, I'm not going to speculate at what they're doing at 2:40 when they're asked to do this. Maybe they were tired, and I'm not going to justify it. Look, I said
maybe we shouldn't be posting videos at 2:40 in the morning.
And at the end of the day, if the question is what was his intent, his intent was to show Georgia fraud and talk about the Georgia election fraud and the stolen election in Georgia.
But then posting a video of a bunch of people bowing to you may not be the way to do that. All right, let's talk about the Epstein files. There's news on that front tonight, which is that on Monday, members of Congress are going to be able to look at some of the unredacted files for themselves. It's interesting, we're also going to be anticipating the Clintons testifying. This week, Bill and Hillary Clinton agreed to testify on this case. Brian, you think it's interesting that the Clintons are testifying here, but not Donald Trump, who also is in the Epstein files?
Absolutely. I mean, look, I am fully in favor of the Clintons coming and testifying. I'm in favor of them doing it in public so that we can all see with our own eyes what they say. I'm in favor of anybody, Democrat, Republican, Independent. If you are implicated in the Epstein files, you need to be held to account for what you've done. You need to put this stuff out in the light of day. And in the same way that I'm fully supportive of the Clintons coming and testifying, just as I'm supportive of anybody coming and testifying, I think that Donald Trump should do the absolute same thing. Will he do that while he's president? No. But you know what? If Republicans want to set a precedent where former presidents and their family members who have some involvement with Jeffrey Epstein have to come before Congress and can't defy any subpoenas to do so, then I'm fully in support of that precedent.
I mean, do you think that Donald Trump, maybe even after he leaves office, should then have to go testify?
President Trump has been the most transparent president on the Epstein files in all presidential. How many Epstein files did Joe Biden release? How many?
There was an ongoing investigation.
How many Epstein files did Joe Biden release?
There was an ongoing prosecution in 2022.
How many did Obama release?
Wait. I mean, acknowledge what I just said. There was an ongoing investigation up to 2022 that was appealed, and that appeal ended in 2025 because there was an ongoing prosecution.
So let her finish her point.
So President Trump has been transparent about this. He has also been under the inquisition of the press, and everyone else that asked him a question, he has answered and answered and answered. Oval Office, press room, Air Force One, you name it, he's answering questions. How many times has Bill Clinton been asked by the conservative press or even the liberal media hard questions about the Epstein files? Zero. I have seen.
Well, he's not the president.
But he is implicated in the Epstein files. If he wanted to be transparent about this, he would come and pro-offer the information so people could have information. Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton didn't voluntarily go testify on this. They had been subpoenaed and they were in contempt. And Comer was about to charge them, and then they decided to do it.
But Trump is not doing his stuff under oath. I mean, would you support the same standard that's being used for the Clintons being used for Donald Trump?
I think President Trump has answered, and they have failed to answer.
You know, as a lawyer, there's a big difference between answering something under oath and answering something to the media.
I don't think he needs to do that right now.
Well, look, you say that he's been the most transparent president in history. You've heard his answers. He's come out and said, are you still talking about the Epstein files? When a reporter on Air Force One asked him about the Epstein files, he called her piggy. When Caitlin Collins just a few days ago tried to ask him about the Epstein files, he attacked her and said that she should smile more. This is the transparency that you expect from the president?
The files released are the transparency.
We have 6 million files and 3 million are released. What about the other 3 million? Are you okay with that? Are you okay with 3 million files not being released?
Let's let the process tease out.
We've already learned from Todd Blanchard the process won't be teased out.
We're out of time, but I just want to end on something fun to show that we can come together at the end of a crazy hard week. What are you most excited about for the Super Bowl,
Oh
Katie?
man, I'm excited when everyone else is doing something and I can go to the gym and check out. I am not a big
You're not going to watch?
fan. No, I'm not.
Okay, what are you most excited about?
I am excited for the halftime show. I want to see any show that does not have Kid Rock involved. That's what I'm excited for.
That was the unity moment, and you used it as a moment for division. All right.
I'm in support of working out, so I'll
okay.
join you
Maybe
with
they'll go
that
to the
one.
gym together. Thanks, guys. Nice to see you.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it. President Trump is using a good cop, bad cop